also, if you want to swap around, I mean, there's always room in this room, which is a good thing, but just as usual, let me know if you can't make this one and you want to come on Thursday. And I hope you had a good, maybe it wasn't half term for others, but the theme this time is space and light. So essentially that when we're moving in yoga, it's to try and create space. You want to create length, but you want to try and sort of, particularly with the breath, is to fill up the lungs, lift the ribs so that you can really get as much oxygen in as possible. But also it's that lightness of movement, so trying to use the pelvic floor in particular and your core. So I'm going to start to call it in its Sanskrit name and just teach you a little bit in this next 6 weeks about the mudras. So they're hand signals almost, which mean a certain attitude, or they bring in a certain energy. So they're like different layers on your yoga practice. We're going to start with the breath, which is alternate nostril breathing, anuloma viloma. And so the hand mudra that we do for this one, which I've explained before. So if you want to do, you find it difficult to do the hand mudra, but this actually is Vishnu, and he was the protector. So and he came in he had other avatars. So Rama was one of them, but so Lord Vishnu is the one that he would come back onto earth if he needed to balance out good and evil. So and when we breathe in the alternate nostril breathing, so when the thumb and the fingers, so if you made a fist with your right hand, so it's always the right hand, and then you release your thumb and your little and your ring finger, that's essentially the mudra, although you can straighten your first and second finger if you want to. But this is the Vishnu mudra, and it moves the energy in a slightly different way. So the to the right is for receiving, and the fingers out to the left mean to give. So it's like inhaling and exhaling and so on. So we're going to start like that. So sitting nice and tall, have your Vishnu mudra ready, and you're going to close the thumb to the right nostril, and then when you're ready, you're going to inhale through the left nostril, and then close with the fingers, open the thumb, and exhale through the right. And then you'll inhale back up through the right nostril, close the thumb, exhale through the left. Inhale to start again the next round through the left, close, open the thumb, exhale. Inhale through the right, close with the thumb, open the fingers, exhale through the left. So just continuing at your own pace, but you're trying to keep the breath even and nice and long and deep. If ever you want to do alternate nostril breathing and you're a little bit blocked up, then you can just imagine that you're breathing in through one nostril and then exhaling through the other. And this breath is connecting you to your rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system. So triggering that relaxation response. Completing one more round, so you'll finish with an exhale through the left nostril. And then lowering your head, bring your hands to your lap. And slowly blinking your eyes open. And then we're going to come to lie on our backs with your knees bent. And then hug your knees in, little rock and roll. And even bringing your hands to the front of your knees, keep the knees together and drawing circles with your knees. And then changing direction. And then bring your feet down, come into windshield wipers, so your arms go wide with the palms down. Take your feet out to the sides of your mat, and then you're going to roll your knees to the right, turn your head to the left. And then inhale, come back to centre. Exhale, change sides. So just keep moving. Trying to move with a little flow so you feel that gentle movement of the spine, the warming up of the hips. Okay, and then bring the knees back to centre, feet on the mat. And then you're going to come in to thread the needle. So bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. And then hands go around the back of the left thigh. But you're going to flex the right ankle, so draw the toes up to the ceiling. And then, just a slight change here, we're going to straighten the left leg. So you're still in that thread the needle, you're drawing the left thigh towards you. You can use your right arm to press the right thigh away to deepen that hip stretch, and then you're going to start to circle the left ankle in both directions, and then you can flex and point, just warming up those ankles. And then exhale, bend the left knee, bring the foot down, uncross, come to the other side, left ankle across right knee, flex the left ankle, and then straighten the right leg. But you're drawing that thigh towards you as you press the left arm into the left thigh, so really resisting, and start to move the foot and the ankle. And then bend the right knee, release feet to the mat, and then you're going to roll onto your side, so you roll to the left side. You're going to come into open book, so you can have your block under your head, so your head isn't dropping at an angle, and your arms are out in front of you with the palms touching. Draw your knees up and stack knees and ankles, and then as you inhale, you're going to lift your right arm up, follow your gaze follows your right hand, and then draw the right arm down, so feeling that rotation. You can let the hips rock back, and then on your inhale, so your exhale, you'll come all the way back over, and keep going. So inhaling, just drawing, so really feeling the lengthening in the front of that right shoulder, and on the exhale, rolling back. waking up the shoulders, squeezing that top shoulder blade down towards the mat. Once more. And then come back to centre. You're going to roll to the other side. Using your breath. Once more. And then coming to sit, and then we're going to come over into tabletop. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And a few rounds of cat-cow, articulating the spine. So as you inhale, looking up, turn the tailbone up. And exhale, arching the back, tucking the tailbone, let the head hang. Following your own breath. And then puppy pose. So hips stay over knees, toes tucked under, walk your hands forward. Tailbone goes up to the ceiling, draw your forehead down to the mat, keep the arms nice and straight, so press down with the palms, push them away from you. So this pose is normally with the chin down, so that you can work towards that if you feel you can sink the chest enough to reach the chin up, but otherwise it's the forehead down, feeling the stretch in the shoulders. And then inhale, walk your hands ready for down dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Walk your dog a little, just slowly paddle through the heels. And then walking your hands back towards your feet. And then pause here before we come up. So feet are parallel. We can do elephant walk. So your fingertips down on the mat, knees bent. Let your head hang, shoulders soft. And then you're going to straight or head towards straight with one leg. So it doesn't have to straighten. You just feel the hamstrings stretch and then bend it again and head towards straight with the opposite leg. And if you keep flowing, it's like an elephant from behind. You'll feel your hips start to swing. So if you straighten your leg too much so the leg comes away from your chest, then you've gone too far. So it's just gently feeling into the hamstrings. You can even rest fingers on the block if it's too, the ground seems too far away. Really just gradually feeling into the hamstrings. Keep moving. Okay, then relax down a little ragdoll. So bend your knees, tummy to thighs, hold onto your elbows. Shake your head. Nod and shake. And then release the hands down, slowly unfurl to stand. And walk to the front of the mat for our half salutes to establish the rhythm of the breath. Standing in mountain pose. Inhale, bring your palms to touch, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees if you need to. Inhale to halfway lift, palms into shins, straight legs, flat back, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up to stand, palms to touch, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, palms to touch, and then exhale, hands to heart, and standing mountain. So 3 rounds of Sun Salute A, Surya Namaskar A. Standing in mountain. Inhale, palms to touch, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend your knees, step back for low press up, Chaturanga. Drop your knees if you need to. Draw the elbows beside the ribs, lower into the mat. You can come into up dog or cobra. So cobra, hips down, tops of the feet pressing down. And then exhale, tuck your toes, come up into down dog. Taking 3 breaths here. You can move if you need to, so you can rock the hips a little, draw the knees underneath, or just settle into your down dog. But place your hands well. And then inhale, we'll all together bring the right foot forward. So you bring the right foot up behind, roll forward to bring the foot between your hands, then left foot forward, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, all the way up, palms to touch, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart, Tadasana, mountain. So 2 more. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway. Exhale, Chaturanga, low press up. Inhale to up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. 3 breaths. And this time the left foot's going to come forward, so inhaling to bring that left foot between your hands, and then step the right foot forward to halfway lift. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana, and then inhale all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana, palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart, Tadasana, mountain. Inhale, last one, Urdhva Hastasana, looking up. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. 3 breaths. Think of your Ujjayi breath, that breath with sound. And then inhaling, you can step, hop, jump forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. And then exhale, hands to heart, Tadasana, mountain. Okay, so we'll bend our knees, take the right foot back into runner's lunge. And then we're going to turn our feet towards the right side of the mat and come into gate pose. So this is where, forgotten how I do. Yeah. Gate pose is actually, the front knee is down, left knee down, but you're pointing to the right side of your mat, so everyone facing this way. And the toes are pointing in the direction of the knees. You've got the left toes tucked under, the right foot, toes pointing to the side of the mat, and then you're going to slide your right hand down your right leg, lift the left arm up, and lean over to the right. Yeah. So feeling space in the side body, You want to lift the chest, and you'll try not to roll the left ribs forward, you're stacking the shoulders. And then inhale, coming back up, you're then going to bring the left fingertips down. You can prop them on the block. If it's too far, sweep the right arm up and over. So now feeling a lengthening in the right side of the body, but trying to press down through the outside edge of the right foot. Lift through that inner thigh. Inhale, coming back up. Bring your knees together, turn to the front of the mat. Palms down, step back to down dog. And then inhale, you're going to bring the right foot forward between your hands. And then we're going to turn to the left side of the mat for gate pose. So this time you'll drop the the right knee down with the toes tucked under, left foot straight with the toes pointing in the same direction as the right knee. So you want to press the hips forward slightly so we're not hinging backwards. Slide the left hand down the left leg, reach the right arm up and lean over. So as you slide that left hand away, keep pressing the hips gently forward. Breathe. And then inhale, coming back over. You can bring a hand to a block on the right side, otherwise fingertips to the ground, but really ground through the sole of the left foot. Reach that top arm up and over. Stack the shoulders, gentle press of the hips forward. And then exhale, bring the knees together, face the front of the mat. Palms down, come up into down dog. Then roll forward into plank and pause. So high plank, press the floor away. You want to puff out between the shoulder blades. Hug the shins and forearms towards each other. And this is your Mula Bandha pelvic floor. So squeeze, it's the root lock, and then lift up your hips, come back into down dog. So that's just the Sanskrit word. So it's the first chakra is the root lock, so your pelvic floor, energy center, and then rolling forward into plank. Again, puffing out between the shoulder blades, really place the hands well. Index finger, base of the thumb pressing down to keep the wrists safe, and then lift your hips, come into down dog. And then inhale, right leg lifts up, three-legged dog, lower the left heel. And then you're going to roll forward into plank, one-legged plank. Lift back up into three-legged dog. And then you're going to bring the right foot between your hands. So bringing that foot all the way forward, come into runner's lunge. And we're going to drop the left knee down. You can flatten the foot if that feels good for the knee, back foot, and then draw yourself up into low lunge. So sink the hips, tailbone drawing down towards the heel, reach the fingertips up, and then as you lift your chest, draw the navel in, turn your gaze between your thumbs. And then exhaling, bring your hands to your heart center, lean forward, and then we're going to twist. So you're going to turn towards the front thigh, so the left elbow is going to come across, so you can release your hands from your chest, but place the left elbow across the right thigh, and then press the palms in, elbows wide, start to revolve. So as you lunge, you're twisting, turn the head as well, with shoulders soft away from ears. Now tuck the left toes under. You can either stay where you are, or you're going to come up into the straight back leg, lift the back knee. And then inhale, come up into high lunge. So you're still in a lunge, feet on train tracks, so you've got a bit of a broader base. Hands to heart. Those thighs firing up. And then draw your navel in, squeeze your mula bandha, your root lock, pelvic floor, bring your arms up, reach up, and then you're going to lean forward and bring the left palm down beside the right foot, so shoulder width apart, then roll your twist up. So push through the back heel, reach through the crown of the head, reach up through the top fingertips, and then exhale, fingertips down by the front foot, runner's lunge. How are those thighs feeling? And then we're going to drop the left heel down. Bring your feet onto the central line, you're going to come up into warrior two. So sink through the right knee, arms go wide, reach out through fingertips. So shoulders stacked over hips, turn your gaze over your front hand. Inhale, Trikonasana, triangle, straighten the front leg. Left hip draws back, draw up through the kneecaps, reach towards the front and then tip. Don't take the bottom hand too low if you can't stack the shoulders, so you want to roll those right ribs across the thigh, roll the left ribs up to the ceiling, turn your gaze. And then bend. Oh, one thing I forgot to say, come back up. You need your block in front of you. Actually, in fact, what I might do is, has everyone got a block with them? Because I think it'd be good to have two. Seems very quiet. So, because we're going to go from triangle, we're going to go into crescent moon and in warrior three. So we're going to use both blocks at the front of the mat. Yeah, so have your blocks, I've only got one, but have your blocks facing front. So essentially, when you lean forward, you can have hands on both blocks. But we'll come back to triangle, Trikonasana. And then you're going to, from Trikonasana, you're going to bend your front knee, and then you're going to hop the back foot forward slightly. Reach for the right, the block on the right, palm down. You're going to come up into crescent moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So external rotation of that back thigh, trying to reach, so broad wingspan, squeeze those shoulder blades towards each other, stack hips and shoulders. And then exhale, float the left foot down next to the right. Both hands to the blocks. You're going to take the weight into your right foot. So you want to lean forward enough that your shoulders are over your hands, and then warrior three, but pressing into the block. So lift the left leg, internal rotation of the thigh, flex at the foot, like you're stamping on the ceiling behind you. But you want to try and drop that left hip down, so the hips are level. So lower your left hips and roll, yeah. So you really have to draw strongly up on the standing leg. And then exhale, float the feet together. Bend your knees, ragdoll. And then feet hip distance apart, come into chair pose. So sit back, draw the knees back slightly, weights more into the heels. Lift arms, so your gaze is between your thumbs, your drishti. Squeeze your mula bandha, pelvic floor, and then exhale, forward fold. Again, inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. It needs fierce. Gets those thighs going. Feel as if your ankles and your knees are squeezing towards each other. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, halfway lift. We're going to step the right foot back. So now bring your hands to your heart. Actually, we can use the two blocks again. So bring your pyramid pose, Purvottanasana. So the feet are only a foot and a half, one back from the other. So have your left foot forward. Level the hips to the front of the mat and squeeze your kneecaps. And then lean forward, bring your hands to the blocks. So feel like in Warrior 3, we have to draw that left hip back and the right hip, allow that to come forward more. Keep strongly squeezing the kneecaps. And then inhale, bring your hands to your heart. So squeeze the thighs towards each other. Far up the thighs, come up to stand. Exhale, step forward, take the other foot back. So left foot back, separate the feet hip distance apart. So left toes are pointing 45-degree angle. Level the hips, so right hip back. Squeeze your kneecaps. And then we're going to hinge forward, reach for the blocks if you want to. If you want to go all the way, you can fold, but the further down you go, the harder it is to draw the right hip back. So you want to keep the hips level. This is, in Sanskrit, it's the intense side stretch to the east. And then inhale, squeeze your thighs, coming up. Exhale, come back to the front of the mat. Okay, and then we do our sequence again on the other side. So exhale, bending down, bring your fingertips beside your feet, take the left foot back into runner's lunge. So this is where we want to be light on our fingertips, so not sinking heavy onto the front thighs, so use the energy in the body to lift. And then exhale, left knee down, flatten the foot, come up into low lunge on Shavasana. Reach up, turn the gaze up, but draw the ribs back slightly so we're not flaring the ribs. Squeeze your Mula Bandha. And then exhale. Have I done this side? I feel like
Yeah.
fingertips down, change to the other side. Oh yeah, I feel like this one. Okay, so the other side. So it's left foot forward, reach up, slightly draw that tailbone down, and then exhale, hands to heart, lean forward, start to twist, so draw the navel in, bring the right elbow across left thigh, press into those palms. So still trying to lift the chest and roll the ribs up to the ceiling, really using that drawing in of the core, navel to spine. And then keeping that, you can either stay there or tuck the right toes under, straighten the back leg, so lift the back knee. It actually feels easier for the twist, even though the balance then becomes your issue. And then inhale, bring the hands forward, exhale, right palm down. So get nice and long, reach your chest forward, press down through the right palm, squeeze navel to spine and then revolve. So turning the ribs, right ribs towards left thigh, keep sinking. And then turn your gaze up, but you try not to drop the head forward. You want to press through the back of the skull and then turn your head, so your head is in line with your spine. And then exhale, Bring your fingertips down. You're going to drop the right heel down and come into warrior two. So you're now on that central line, arms go wide. Reach through your fingertips, so trying to sink. So you can try and almost get that front thigh parallel to the mat, but you want to roll the left buttock under slightly. Inhale, Trikonasana, triangle, straighten the front leg. Right hip back, reach. So here we want space between the hip crease and the armpit on the left side. Draw up through the kneecaps and then tip. So leaning back, step the shoulders, step the hips. Draw up through the kneecaps. And then we're going to come to our half moon. So you're going to step the back foot forward, slightly bend the front knee, reach for your block. And lift that back leg. So you want to try and stack the hips, which means you want to externally rotate the right leg. And then as you reach your right hand up to the ceiling, draw the shoulder blades towards each other, almost leaning back, so it's a real feet of balance. Lift the back heel up towards, you want to try and get the back heel towards the hip, the level of the hip. Tiny bit more. And then exhale, float the right foot down, take a moment, and then you're going to come into a modified warrior three. So feet hip distance apart, bend your knees, bring your hands to the block, so you're going to lean forward, and then we're going to take, is this the right leg then? We had the, so right leg, lift up, internal rotation. As soon as you try and drop that right hip, turn the knee, the toes down, you'll feel how strong it is on the left hip. Use your breath. And then exhale, float those feet together, bend your knees a little, ragdoll. And then come down for a moment into child's pose. So knees wide, toes touching. Rest your arms and your forehead on the mat. And if this doesn't feel good, you can roll onto your back and just hug your knees to the outside of your ribs. There's a lot of work on the thighs. So to get that lightness in the body, we need to energize from the soles of the feet up to the crown of the head. So building strength is how you can harness that power to move it upwards. Coming to sit, and sit up on your block. If you need to, come into Baddha Konasana, butterfly. So soles of the feet together. Draw the heels towards your bottom, holding onto your ankles. So sitting up nice and tall. Feel that inner squeeze of the soles of the feet. Squeeze your Mula Bandha, root lock, pelvic floor, and then we're going to hinge forward slightly. So keeping chest lifting, hinge forward, feel that real lengthening in the groin, and then start to curl inwards. So bring your hands forward, around your toes, and you can even slide your thumbs between the soles of your feet, so turning the feet open like the pages of a book. Your elbows can be on your thighs, just to deepen that inner thigh stretch. And then inhale, sitting up, bring your hands to the outside of your knees, bring your knees together, come off your block. So legs straight out in front of you. And then we're going to bend the left leg and bring the left leg across the opposite thigh. So the straight leg is strong, so flex at the right ankle, press the back of that thigh down, and then sit up nice and tall. You're holding onto the opposite shin, sit tall. And then you're going to take your left hand behind you, hug your arm around the right knee, squeeze yourself towards it as you get tall, and then exhale, revolve to look behind you. So feeling how to get space in the torso, you need to lift upwards. So we're not allowing ourselves to shrink, get nice and tall. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale, uncross, other side. So twists really help with the blood flow. Sitting nice and tall. Right hand behind, hug the left arm around that knee, squeeze yourself towards the thigh and then revolve. So we say it's like massaging the organs, but they don't really necessarily need that. It does help with your intestines and so on, but it's more that, again, twists help you tap into the parasympathetic nervous system, that really restful. So it gets the blood flowing nicely, squeezing out blockages. Inhale, come back to center, unravel, and then we're going to come into a squat, Malasana. So if you find squats a little difficult, you can have a block nearby. So starting, you might want to start from standing, but take your feet wide, toes out, and then as you sit down, you want the knees to track in the direction or over the toes, and then sink your bottom down. Bring your palms into your chest, so your elbows press your thigh, or your upper arms press your thighs out. Sink the hips, so you're trying to have the back straight and the gaze forward. If you find that too intense, you can prop your bottom on a block so you can't sink too deep. You can even have a rolled up towel to prop your heels on. Very good for knees and hips, but might not feel that when you first try. Okay, then rock forward, lift your bottom up, and then bring your bottom down to sit. So we're going to come into bridge. So lying back, knees bent. Arms by your side. And a few rounds of our flowing bridge just to get a little motion going. So as you inhale, rock the pelvis back, lift your hips up, and then bring your arms straight overhead to touch down behind you. Little squeeze of the glutes and dig your heels in. And then on the exhale, slowly lowering the arms down and lowering down through the vertebrae, hips down last. And then just keep moving with your own breath. And then you're going to hug the right knee into your chest. Let the left leg just lie on the mat. You can let it relax. Draw that right knee in. And then allow the right thigh to come slightly out to the right side of the ribs. So you feel a little bit more of the back of the thigh. And then take your left hand to the outside of the right knee. Take the right arm wide and then draw the knee across the body. So you're going to twist all the way over. Turn your head the opposite direction. So you're trying to keep the shoulders grounded. So drawing the knee over as much as you can to feel that twisting. And then inhale, release. Let the hips come back to the mat, bend both knees, and then straighten the right leg, let it relax, hug the left knee in, squeeze it into the ribs, and then draw the thigh out to the left slightly. And then right hand to the outside of the left knee, left arm goes wide, rolling over, turn your gaze to the left. And then coming back to centre. Hug both knees in, a little rock and roll. And then just for a couple of breaths, squeeze your core and lift your chest and chin towards your knees. Little squeeze and then exhale, release. Drop your feet onto the mat, knees bent. You're going to come into bridge again, but this time arms by your side. Press the backs of the shoulder blades down so you feel that broadening across the front of the chest. And then inhale, lift your hips up. And then lift the right leg up to the ceiling. Flex at the foot, so press the heel out, up. And you want to lower, so you're going to lower your hips to kiss the mat. And then punch the right or kick the right foot up to the ceiling. So really feel the left glute. You lower and then squeeze the glute to lift the right leg. 3 more. Lowering, squeeze to lift, so use your arms. Last one. And then right foot down and then lower down through the vertebrae. Knock the knees together for a moment. Take your feet apart a little, just let the hips settle. And then the other side. So inhaling, coming into bridge. And then you're going to lift the left leg up, flex at the ankle, and then lower the hips to kiss the mat. Squeeze the right glute to punch, kick the foot up to the ceiling. Two more. Well done. Exhale, left foot down and lower the hips down. Take the feet apart a little, knock your knees together. And bring your hands onto your stomach. Close your eyes. You're going to take your towel roll, or if you don't have that, you can use your block. Legs up the wall pose. So bending your knees, feet on the floor, and then lift your hips, bring the towel roll to the base of your spine. And then lift your legs up. Let the arms rest wherever they want to be. You can have the palms rolling upwards. So you should have the towel roll placed where it tilts your pelvis back so that you don't have to hold your legs up. Close your eyes. So we've worked those legs hard. So now just a little bit of reversal of that energy. And then bend your knees, bring your feet down, remove the towel roll, and we're going to come into Shavasana relaxation. So put your warm things on. Being aware of the sensation of the weight of you on the mat. But also paying attention to how your body feels having moved. If you feel that sensation of space, having breathed well as you moved. Being aware if you're still holding tension, and just with the next exhale, just taking your thoughts there and allowing those muscles to release, soften. Slowly bringing your awareness back to the sounds around you, starting to move fingers and toes, bringing your feet together and stretching your arms over your head. And then when you're ready, curling onto your right side for a moment. And then coming to sit with your eyes closed. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. Bring your palms together at your heart center, lowering your head.